Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please subscribe and click that like button so I know that you are new and you are enjoying what you're seeing, and it kind of helps me make more videos because I know that people are actually watching it, so there's some benefit to it. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for clicking on this video. So in today's video, I want to focus on April and kind of like an overall month prediction for April 2020. So basically, as always, I've put 3 different piles here, and so depending on which pile you choose, that's going to be your reading. And if you feel more drawn to like more than one pile, probably there's a message in both of them. So this video, I'm kind of like tuning into the energy, so whoever's gonna click on it, like that's the kind of like that's the people I'll be connecting to. So if you click on this video, I've connected to your energy as well. So when you're ready, take a moment and start connecting to the piles. And if you need to pause a video to pick the right pile, you can do that as well. So here are the 3 different piles. So this is pile number 1. The middle one is pile number 2. And here we've got pile number 3. So 1, 2, and 3. So this is like an important part of the reading to make sure that you pick the right pile for you. And once you've selected, I'm gonna go straight into the reading. So if you don't have to watch everyone's reading, you can just go into the description of this video and click on your selected reading so you can go straight into it. So if you've selected pile number 1, this is your reading, and let's have a look what we've got. So I'm just going to put the cards out here and then I'm going to explain what they are. So the first cards that came through, the tarot cards, we've got the Strength card upside down. We've got Ace of Cups upside down. Then we've got the Emperor card. And then you've got Page of Pentacles. So straight away, this is kind of telling us a lot, and 2 of the cards are upside down and 2 cards are right side up. So that's already kind of telling me straight away that there's something you need to find balance about in your life right now. So let's start with the Strength card upside down. So the Strength card upside down, that presents in the reading when you're struggling, you don't see yourself as being strong, you feel out of control. You feel like that everything else is kind of chaotic and you can't do anything about it. It's like when you lose motivation, when you lose your confidence, when you lose where you just basically don't have any energy to kind of keep going because you feel like everything else has fallen apart. So like, why bother trying anymore? So that's the kind of energy I feel, and that's kind of the first card that came through. So this could be like the start of April where you feel like things are not moving forward. You feel stuck in some way. And so the next card we have is Ace of Cups upside down, followed by, that was followed by the Strength card. So, once again, this is some kind of, you're being, emotional, overly sensitive, your creativity is gone, some kind of issues. This is symbolizing like emotional issues or like baggage that you're carrying. You basically don't have any control of that. You see like the water, if it was right side up, it's like kind of a fountain, but it came upside down. So all the water is spilling out of the fountain right now for you, or like the start of April that I feel. So, this could also mean like, fertility issues, just kind of, just issues in general that affect your emotional well-being, if that makes sense. So these 2 cards kind of go hand in hand. This just basically symbolizes struggle and feeling like things are just, not looking positive, and that there's some kind of blockages. So this is how you may be feeling at the start of April, I feel. But let's have a look like what you can do about it and how to get through it. So the next card we have is the Emperor card. So this is telling you that in the month of April, you need to create a structure of some sort and stick to that structure. You need to go back to like traditional ways. Kind of don't be too creative, just kind of like stick to the basics and do what you have to do. Like, don't make it too complicated, if that makes sense. That's what I'm feeling from this card. You need to have a say but you need to feel in control. Like that's kind of overall what I feel like after these two cards, the Strength and the Ace of Cups upside down, you know, because you feel so out of control, you know, you need to create this control. You need to feel like you have something in your hands that you can, you know, basically use to your advantage right now, or like in the, you know, overall like in the month of April. So basically what I feel, you know, you need to create a structure, a routine, something you can stick to every day, and something you can do to keep going, to keep you motivated, to stay on goal. Don't set big goals, you know, just basically little goals, you know, try and wake up by this hour, you know, try and do this and that. And then, you know, you can have a reward, you can like go watch TV, you know what I mean? Like kind of like have a structure, but don't make it too difficult, make it something realistic and something you can achieve. And then you've got Page of Pentacles. So once again, you know, with the Page of Pentacles, it's saying, you know, you need to stay motivated. You need to stay, you know, you need to keep dreaming and have desires. And, you know, you need to be kind of curious about life and continue to have that, you know, that energy where you want to manifest stuff. Okay, so try and like, you know, continue to self-evaluate like what you want to do with your life. Like don't just put everything else on hold. Like don't just like let all that you've worked for fall apart. Like continue to stay on your goal and continue to manifest what you want to manifest, and like keep thinking about it. Like once, you know, things that are outside of your control settle down, you know, you can get back into it and you can get back on track. That's what I feel for you guys. The next two cards are kind of so from this beautiful deck, these cards are kind of like things that you need to remind yourself. So this is like the card that comes with it. So I am, and you've got the Patient card and you've got Vital card. So, you know, I am patient. You know, so you are patient. So you need to keep reminding yourself that, you know, things right now are slow. Nothing is happening fast. Nothing is happening as fast as you'd like it to go. You know, you had to cancel things, you had to put things on hold. But you need to remind yourself that you are patient, that it's worth the wait. You know, don't try and get worked up about it, that you can't do much in your life right now. You know, keep reminding yourself that, you know, being patient is perhaps, you know, the skill you need to be working on right now during this time. You know, accept the fact that you need to wait for things to unfold on their own, you know, and kind of find the comfort in the discomfort. You know, if you can't do much about it, you know, just don't get worked up about it in your head. Like relax, do something nice, take up a hobby that you've been putting off. Like, you know, be patient, like if you can't do the big stuff. So just like keep distracted by the little stuff that you can do. So focus on that. And then once again, the next card, so I am vital. Okay, so you are essential, okay? You are needed. If you've been struggling with your self-esteem, with your self-worth, overall feeling bad as a person, feeling like, you know, life is perhaps, you know, kind of falling into a bit of a depression, kind of what I feel. So this is telling you that you are important, you are essential, you are needed, you are alive for a reason. And you know, things are not going to be a struggle forever. Things are going to get better. So you need to hold on, you know, turn this Strength card upside down into the right way up. So, you know, you have the strength in you. You can get through these difficult times. So, you know, in the month of April, remember that, you know, you are needed. There's a higher purpose for everything that's going on right now. You know, everything negative can be turned into something positive. Okay, and like remember to stay patient. The next cards we have are the animal cards. So this deck is like the animal tarot cards. So that's the deck. And I love these cards because they are so gentle. Like the energy is beautiful, but they provide a lot of insight. So the first card we have, wow, it's the number 13, and it's the Peacock. And this is all about release. Okay, so there's something in your life that you need to release right now. You know, something that perhaps, you know, now is the right time to let go of. So let's have a look what this card says. So it says, it's time to release the past and move on to something new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. So if there's something in your life that's ending and you're quite upset about it, you feel like, you know, you don't want it to end, perhaps it's ending for a reason. Perhaps it's ending because there is something better going to come to you, and you need to allow this ending to happen, because perhaps you've been scared to end it on your own, and perhaps now things are ending that are out of your control. You don't have a say, they are just ending, and perhaps it's happening for the right reason. It's happening because you needed this ending, but you were too scared to do it on your own. So basically universe is making it end for you, because it's kind of helping you end it so you can start something better. Okay, and the next card we have is the 10 of Autumn Golden Retriever Dog. This is so cute. Okay, so on this card we have, without reading what it says, we see a family, 2 dogs and a lot of puppies. So 2 adult dogs and puppies. So this is symbolizing family, connection, spending time with your loved ones. So if you are, stuck at home right now and you're hating it, your family is getting on your nerves, try and turn it into something positive. Try and go through your old photographs with the family and talk about good memories, play board games, watch movies as a family. Try and turn the stuff that you perhaps don't like about your family, try and turn it into a positive family time. Okay, this is something that I'm feeling right now. Turn it into something playful, have fun with it. Don't talk about the big stuff, don't hold grudges. Just put everything heavy on hold right now and just enjoy fun times with your family. And this card is saying, contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. Okay, once again, this card is talking about traditions, and that's kind of what I felt here with the Emperor card, tradition. So, kind of stick to the basics and with the routines, and, turn your, with your family time, tell something to your family that you love about them. Try and turn it into something positive, okay? Let's have a look what else we've got. So the next card we have is the Sea Chariot. Okay, this is from a beautiful mermaid deck. So the Chariot symbolizes movement. So right now you're feeling that you're stuck and that you're not moving forward. But this card is reminding you that in the month of April, despite you feeling stuck, you're actually making forward movement. Okay, things are moving, but you may not see it that way, or you may not even be aware of it, but things are kind of constantly happening. And then you're just going to, later be able to see that, but perhaps right now you're not able to see that movement. Okay, so stay optimistic that things are moving, and that you're just not wasting time. If you feel like you're stuck at home and you're wasting time on playing board games or watching movies, that's kind of all you can do, and things are unfolding on their own, so you don't need to focus on that so much. That's what I'm feeling. And the next card we have is mermaid, kind of hiding behind flowers. Okay, I'm gonna show you the card because the pictures are so powerful and they tell a lot. So basically what I feel from this card is some kind of recognition happening. So you've been hiding behind these beautiful flowers, everything that you've done in your life, your accomplishments. Maybe you weren't recognized for it, and maybe right now is the time when people are gonna realize how much you've been actually doing. Maybe until now they haven't realized everything that you've been doing, but now perhaps that you stop doing your usual routine things, people are well, now we can't really do much because of you. You know what I mean? So people are gonna recognize your talents because you had to stop them in some way. So this is kind of what I'm feeling with this card. People are gonna realize how important you are, and how essential you are, and that you have a purpose. Everyone has a purpose, and if people haven't been recognizing your talents, they're gonna realize it in the month of April. Then we have the sensitivity card. Okay, be mindful that you are very sensitive right now. Be aware what sets you off. Try and take it easy and don't get stuck in your head. I just feel my head is hurting. I feel like I'm overthinking so much, and it's squishing my skull together, if that even makes sense. So, I feel you need to put some of your worries and your thoughts that you're constantly thinking and worrying about, put it on hold, and just take care of yourself, because you are, these are sensitive times for everyone. So just take it easy and be gentle with yourself. Okay. Then we've got the triggers card, this is, you know, it's almost funny that it basically relates to the sensitivity card. You know, triggers. Be aware of your triggers. Be aware of what sets you off. Be, you know, aware of like what makes you angry, what makes you feel sad, what makes you feel happy. You know what I mean? Like, be aware of like, you know, when certain things happen, like how it makes you feel. And you probably have a pattern in your life right now that you've noticed, like if this happens, this is how I react. So, you know, this is time to kind of like be aware of those triggers. And if you don't want to feel a certain way, like you can probably avoid it. So like if someone's arguing with you, you know, don't argue back, because if you know that if you argue back, you're gonna feel depressed about it later on. So you know what I mean? Like, kind of be aware of like what you're doing and like try and prevent it if you can. But this is also saying, you know, it could be a positive trigger. So, you know, if watching your favorite movie makes you feel really happy and makes you feel like, you know, like if it's like a favorite movie from your childhood and it reminds you of your childhood and it reminds you of good old times and it makes you feel happy on the inside, you know, kind of like that's your trigger for happiness. So like go do that thing that makes you happy. You know what I mean? So everything that happens in life makes you feel a certain way, positive or negative, and, you know, all in between. So kind of like be aware of your triggers basically. And then we've got commitment to happiness. Okay, so commit to being happy. You know, as I felt here earlier, wherever that was, you know, with the vital cards, where perhaps, you know, you feel a little depressed, feeling a little down, feel like everything's out of your control, you know, and, you know, you're overly sensitive, so emotions are running high. You know, commit to happiness. Like, don't give in to the depression, don't give in to the negative thoughts. Like, try and stay happy and try and like just do nice things for yourself that keep you going. Okay, don't try and like control everything, but, you know, just focus on like what you can control, like the little structures in your day that you can have a control over. But if you can't control like the bigger things in your life, you know, just try and like focus on what you can control and commit to being happy, and like try and like set a goal that you're not gonna get affected by the negative things. You know what I mean? Okay, and the last three cards we have: a climax approaches, full moon in Aries. Okay, so some kind of ending is happening, and we've even had these cards here. You know, we've even had the release cards where you need to release something, and then somewhere we had like some kind of ending. So, you know, overall, I feel there's some kind of ending happening. So something you haven't been, you know, perhaps right now you're stuck in a situation where you don't know how things are gonna turn up. So like how it's gonna like work out in the end. So in the month of April, you're gonna get the answers that you're seeking. You know, if you're not sure if you lost your job, for example, you just kind of like in the unknown where you have a break from job, but you're not sure if you actually lost it or if you can get back to it. You're gonna get those answers communicated to you in the month of April. So some kind of answer, some kind of, you know, something that you've been trying to figure out, like it's just gonna come to you. You're gonna get the answers that you need. Then we have luck is on your side. Okay, new moon in Sagittarius. Okay, fire energy. So you've got a lot of fire energy here, so no wonder, you know, you're feeling a bit emotional and a bit of out of control. So luck is on your side. So remember, you know, to feel grateful for what you have, and remember to point the arrow into what you want to manifest. So if you put all your energy into the things that make you sad, of course you're gonna get sad and things are gonna get worse. But if you point the arrow into something that you can control, you know, into the positive triggers, as I was talking about, you know, if you point the arrow into something good, into something positive, you're gonna get, you know, you're gonna be happy. But overall, you know, this is saying that luck is on your side. Okay, so, you know, if you feel like you're cursed, that things are just bad, you're just bad luck is following you, this is reassuring you that, you know, good luck and positive energy is around you, but you may not see it right now, but it is there. Okay, you are being protected every day by your angels, and, you know, luck is on your side. And the last card that we have is the supermoon. So of course emotions are running high. Okay, so with the full moon energy, and this is like supermoon, so everything is bigger, everything is amplified, and, you know, you feel everything a lot more than you would normally. So this is just reminding you to take it easy, because in the month of April, emotions are going to be running high. Okay, you're going to be perhaps having a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and kind of not be able to balance your emotions very well. So this is kind of like your reminder to take it easy, you know, be patient with yourself. And overall in the month of April, you know, try and focus on what you can control and don't let the things you can't control get in your way. That's kind of like what I'm feeling overall. So hope that this reading made sense. And so April should be, it should be a good month because you're gonna get some answers. So if you've been stuck, and you don't know how things are gonna turn up and how it's gonna end, you're gonna get the answers. So overall, approach April, with a lot of positivity and a lot of energy, and try and like have the strength to get through it and just kind of focus on what you can do. So group number 1, this was your reading, and I hope it resonated. Let me know down in the comments below. Let me know how this resonated, and if you're excited about April, if you're worried, let me know. And I'm gonna go and move on to group number 2. Okay, so if you've chosen group number 2, this is your reading. So let's get into it, and as always, I'll start with the tarot cards, and then we're going to get into the more in-depth cards here. So, okay, the first card that we have is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and I'll show you the card. So with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I feel this is some kind of like, I don't know, like losing, your way in life, like kind of like almost like being lazy in a way, or like, not seeing the bigger picture, just kind of like giving up in a way. So kind of being stuck, no forward movement. I just kind of like feel it's just you don't know who you are anymore. That's the kind of energy I'm feeling here straight away. Like you're kind of like grieving something almost, and like you're confused, you're scared, or like you're obsessed with like the wrong things. Like for example, maybe before like you were too obsessed with your work, for example, and it wasn't good for you, or maybe like now you're too obsessed with like, I don't know, just like doing something that doesn't actually give you any benefit in life. Like I kind of feel like bad habits in a way. So like doing something over and over that's like not for your highest good. So, if you're watching this and you select a group number 2, kind of check in with yourself, like what it is that you're always doing. That's kind of like, not like waste of time, but it doesn't actually give you any benefit. Like you're doing something over and over, but you're not really moving anywhere, if that makes sense. So that's the kind of energy I feel from this card straight away. Now we've got 5 of Cups. Okay, so 5 of Cups, that kind of makes sense after this card. So 5 of Cups is about like, loss, grieving, sadness, like heavy energy. And I'll show you the card so you can have a look at the picture. It's kind of like losing something, or perhaps like losing yourself. So perhaps you have lost yourself. So in the month of April, you need to be aware, and you need to be prepared to stay strong and not to like lose yourself in like what's coming ahead in the month of April. So kind of like, even here on the picture, we see this dark person, like, it's kind of like a dark figure because he looks like really sad and depressed. That's kind of like what I get from this shadow figure here on this picture. And he's like looking into the water, trying to like find something. Okay, so you, for example, you could be like looking for something that isn't coming back, like constantly. I feel like it's kind of to do with your past. There's something in your past that has, ended, but you still haven't come to terms with it. This could be a relationship perhaps, and you're waiting for that person to come back to you, and like you keep dwelling on it. You keep thinking like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have let that person go, or things like that. And you keep like waiting, you keep searching for that, but like that's kind of gone. It's like that chapter has ended in your life. So just be aware of that. Now we've got the Fool card in reverse. Okay, so Fool card in reverse, that kind of symbolizes that you're being reckless in your life right now. You're not really looking at the consequences to your actions. Okay, the Fool card, it also could symbolize that someone's like taking advantage of you, like someone's, asking you for something and like not giving you anything in return, or things like that. Like people like, toxic people in your life that you are perhaps too scared to like get rid of from your life. This could even be a family member, someone that's always demanding things from you, and you're too scared to say no because you're so used to saying yes, and something shady going on there. That's what I feel like from the Fool card in reverse in this particular spread, you guys. So if you know who this person is, this is kind of like your warning, like, that person is just like using you for their own benefit. So like be aware of that, and just, yeah, I mean, awareness is like the first thing to making any change. So like if you're aware of it, you can kind of like keep an eye out and like see what they're doing, and then you can, you know, learn to say no later on and things like that. And then we've got the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so with the Eight of Pentacles, I feel that you need to start to focus on the things that you want to grow, that you want to bring into your life. Like stop focusing on the past stuff. I feel like that's where you're at, or that's where you're going to be in April, or like at the start of April. You're going to be dwelling on a lot of things that you have lost, perhaps. Okay, but it's time to actually, you know, turn that upside down and start like planting the seeds that you want to bring. Like focus on the things you want to bring into your life, and like really tune into yourself and ask yourself, like, what are my next steps in life, and like try to go from there. You know, you need to like find your passions, your life purpose, even, you know, as big as that. Like you need to kind of like ask yourself, like, what am I trying to do? And like, you know, you deep down you do know, but maybe you're not sure because you don't trust that. So I feel like you really have to tune in and like listen to what your body is telling you. And if something isn't for you, like you need to also like say no to that. So like you can start eliminating things, or like career pathways, or like relationships, or whatever it may be in your life. Let's have a look at the other cards that we've got here. So, okay, so we've got the new moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins, okay? And I even said that earlier, that I feel like, you know, you're perhaps waiting for that ex-partner to come back into your life. So this is saying to you that someone new is going to come into your life, okay? Leave the past in the past. You know, and obviously if that person hasn't come back to you by now, they probably don't want to be in your life, and that's probably also for your highest good. You know, you shouldn't want to be in someone's life who doesn't like want you. That's just kind of like what I feel for some of you, that you might be going through that. So, you know, this card is a reassurance that, you know, a new romantic relationship is going to come into your life. So like try and, you know, look ahead, don't look into the past so much. Then we've got bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. Okay, so always, you know, in every situation that you're in, you know, try to view it from like love. So like, you know, even if like I said earlier, I feel there's a person in your life that's kind of like taking advantage of you, things like that, like kind of like send love their way, and like, you know, send blessings their way. Like don't try and curse them, or like, you know, have payback or hold grudges. Just like send them love, but then like cut them out of your life. You know what I mean? So like even if like things go badly in your life, like send it love, but then kind of like move on. That's kind of what I feel from this. And then we have your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. Okay, so your commitment is being tested. So, you know, this could mean in, you know, romantic, in career, in friendships, in family, you know, in many different aspects of your life. So the universe is kind of like trying to test, you know, how committed you are to your goals, to your dreams. So, you know, how committed are you to plant these flowers and like allow them to grow? So, you know, I feel like you really need to stick with it. Perhaps you're someone, or, you know, in the month of April, you'll be someone that's very indecisive and you keep changing your mind every 10 seconds. You know, so this is where the commitment comes into play. Like you need to choose something and then kind of stick with it. Like at least give it a good go before you move on to something else. Like don't just like change your mind without actually trying anything. So that's what I'm feeling. The next cards we have. Okay, so I'll start with this card. So I'll show you the picture. So, you know, with this card, I feel that you're bottling your emotions. Okay, so we see here this really sad girl, or like mermaid, or I'm not sure what she is, but she's really upset and she's holding some kind of like, you know, you see here like, you know, monsters, like some kind of sea monster, something negative, and she's keeping it, okay? And she's like, she keeps revisiting it. So this is something that I feel that you need to like, you know, as I said earlier, like let the past go, like allow yourself to heal from your past, no matter what has happened in your past. Like try to find healing in that and try and like look forward. Don't like keep looking to the back. Like stop revisiting the old, you know, places in your life, like the, you know, the deep depressing stuff that has perhaps hurt you. Like try and like, you know, turn the page and like let that heal. You know, I'm not saying you're gonna forget about it. You know, sometimes you can't forget about, you know, major things that have happened in your life, but allow it to like just kind of sit there, rather than like actually don't like allow that thing to trigger you and control your life right now. Okay, that's kind of what I feel. And then with this card, I really feel that you need to stay true to yourself. I feel that a lot of outside influences are trying to control your life right now. And this could be family or a close friend, as I even felt earlier before I even saw this card. You know, I feel like the outside world is trying to make you something that you're not. So I feel you need to ask yourself who it is that you want to be, and, you know, stick with that and go forward despite what other people say. Like, even if they disapprove of your decisions, like, go for it anyway, because you're only living for yourself. You're not living for anyone else, okay? So live your own life for yourself and do what makes you happy, not what makes other people happy. Okay, and some other cards we have. Let's have a look. So we've got the sleep card. Okay, so perhaps, you know, in the month of April, you need to make sure that your sleep routine is kind of like on track, that it's good, that you're getting enough hours of sleep. You know, I myself, I'm kind of going to bed really late and then I sleep in, and that's not very good. So this could be a message for me, as well as probably as many of you as well. You know, now we, you know, people having more time on their hands, like people like try and stay up late and then like sleep in. But, you know, try and like find a good sleep routine for yourself, and like make sure that you're rested and you feel refreshed in the morning. Like, try and like find that, you know, that good sleep routine, because it's gonna affect, you know, basically your day-to-day life. If you're, you know, not getting enough sleep, you're gonna be cranky, you're gonna be agitated, you know, so it's going to affect you. So make sure you get on top of your sleep routine. Then we've got hidden blessings. Okay, so even if things in your life look really difficult and challenging right now, there's hidden blessings in them. You know, good things can come from the bad stuff, as I keep saying. You know, it's not that like the bad stuff happens because, you know, the world hates you. Like, if bad things do happen, you know, the energy, the universe has an amazing power to turn that and heal that and turn it into something good. Okay, so no matter what's happening in your life right now, you can find something positive. There's something positive in every situation, no matter what it is. Whether it's more awareness, being more careful, you know, taking justice into your hands, saying no to people, whatever it may be, every negative thing teaches you a lesson. So try and like think about that. When there's things in your life that you can't control, try and think about the hidden blessings in that. And then we've got positive-minded people. Okay, so you need people that are positive in your life. Okay, get rid of the toxic people. And this seems to be like a message that keeps coming through in this reading group number 2. So you really need to have a look at people in your life. This could even be social media interactions. Like, if someone, you know, if you see someone's like photos or comments and they don't make you happy, like, get rid of them, block them, unfriend them, stop talking to them. You know what I mean? Like, just kind of like let them go. Don't worry about how they're going to react. Just, you know, you don't have to, as I said here earlier, like, live your life for yourself, not for other people. So don't worry how it's gonna affect them. If they don't make you happy, and if you get upset by seeing someone else, you know, even social media or in person, like, stop seeing them. Don't worry what they're gonna think about it. Like, do it for yourself. The next card that we have, so this deck is kind of this deck is, you know, it's a beautiful deck, and I haven't used it in the readings before, but I was drawn to like bring this deck into the reading today. So the deck comes with this main card that says I am. Okay, and you know, you then shuffle the cards, and whatever comes through, it's like a reminder for you throughout like the month of April in this particular reading, like things to remind yourself like what you are. So if you're forgetting like who you are, like these are the things that you are, and you should like remind yourself. So for example, like you guys got the fun card, you know, so I am fun. Okay, remember that you're a fun person. People love to be around you. You know, if you have any self-doubt, like think of yourself, you know, you are fun. You have the fun inside of you. And this could also be like, you know, when things get a bit difficult, like you can try and like find some fun in your life. Like no matter what's going on, like, you know, you can try and like create something that's going to bring you joy into your life. So like you're never stuck in any negative situation. You can like try and like, you know, do something nice for yourself, distract a little bit, step away from that situation and do something fun for yourself. And the next card we have is committed. And that is really interesting because, yeah, you guys got I am committed. Okay, and I'm not sure where it was, but we had somewhere here, commitment. Your commitment is being tested. I'm not sure if you remember. So you guys have the 2 committed cards. So month of April really wants you to be committed, okay? And you need to be committed. You are committed, okay? It's inside of you. You can stay committed, but you know, try and like really focus on being committed to no matter what it is. Like try and like, you know, stick with it. That's what I feel like. Don't constantly change your mind, because I feel like your mind is like lying to you a lot, and you get worked up in your head and you think a lot about like, you know, there's this, you know, like your mind creates lies and then you start to trust them, and then that's when you like, you know, give up your plans because you think that it's not worth it. But in reality, you know, you need to stay committed to those plans and don't listen to the lies that your mind tells you. And the last 2 cards that you guys got, 8 of Autumn with this beautiful parrot picture. So this is a beautiful card, and it's saying, it's the perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work, and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancements. Okay, so this is telling you if you've been thinking about going back to school, taking an online course, or just basically, you know, Googling things, like reading like, I don't know, articles, you know, no matter what it is, you know, Google is probably not always like trusted. But you know what I mean? Like actually like doing like a research, reading like, peer-reviewed articles, you know, like really things like that. Or even going to like the library, or like, you know, finding like online books and like, you know, or like even getting your books that you have at home and like reading things that like interest you, just learning about things. It could be for fun, it could be for something that, you know, could actually help you in your career, something you've been perhaps putting off. You know, now it's the time. You could even like go on YouTube and like, I don't know, if there's a career that you've always wanted to do, you know, try and like find someone who actually, you know, explains a bit more about their career, or whatever it is, you know, try and like do some kind of like research, or like look into something that's been that you've been interested in, that you've never really like properly looked at before. So this is just something that came through. And the last card we have is the Queen of Spring. Okay, it's the Persian cat. So this says up here that you are talented, brilliant, independent, and charming. Okay, these are some keywords associated with this card. So the actual card says, don't underestimate your ability to manifest your dreams. You may have several priorities trying to get your attention at once, but you can do it. So this is saying, you know, if you have a lot of different things that you're trying to do, and you know, you're kind of all over the place, and that's where like you lose commitment because it's just too much for someone to handle. This is saying to you that, you know, you are supported and you can do it, you can get through it, even though there's a lot of different things that need your attention. Like you are going to get through it and you're going to do well. So group number 2, I hope that this reading resonated with you. This was your April prediction. So let me know down below in the comments how this resonated, or any you know, topics you want me to discuss in future videos, and I'm going to move on to group number 3. Okay, so if you've selected group number 3, this is your reading. So I'll start with the tarot cards, and then we're gonna go more in depth. Okay, so the first 4 cards I pulled out the tarot, as I said, and the first card you guys got is the Death card. Okay, so this is telling me straight away that there's something that you're resisting. There's a change that needs to happen, but you're perhaps not letting it happen, or, you know, this is like reminding you to let things kind of die down. Okay, so this could be a partner, like a relationship. This could be, you know, a job. You know, and I've had this kind of theme throughout like each of the piles that's been selected for today's reading for the April prediction. So allow the endings to kind of end naturally. Like don't try to fight them, don't try to like resist the change, just kind of like go with the flow. That's straight away what I'm feeling. And then you've got the 8 of Swords. Okay, and it's interesting because like the 8 of Swords, it's all about feeling trapped and, you know, feeling like you're the prisoner of some sort. Okay, so this is reminding you that perhaps you need to allow things to end and you're gonna be able to be free, basically. So, you know, remember to free yourself from any situation that no longer serves you, you know, people in your life that no longer serve you. Basically, you know, we see here on the picture a person that's kind of like, you know, hiding behind the swords that have been attacking them, and the person feels, you know, trapped and is not running away because perhaps this person doesn't know that they can run away. But you see that all this person has to do is, you know, they can think their way out of it, like they can leave the situation and they can like go to the safety, if that makes sense. But this person doesn't see it at the time. So no matter what your life situation is right now, like you can get out of it, like you can free yourself, no matter how trapped you might feel, like there is a way out. And this could be strongly associated with just like allowing things to die down on their own, like allowing things to end, like allowing some endings, because maybe that's what's keeping you trapped, is like you resisting change. The next card we have is the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so this is all about like working in a team, working with a partner, like working with someone to like get your goals done. Okay, some kind of teamwork of some sort. So this is also representing like prosperity, like money coming to you, some kind of like reward, or like, you know, some kind of extra I don't know, like extra payment of some sort. Like basically this is just like being rewarded for something, and like you don't have to work for it, you're just gonna be rewarded with like, you know, some kind of financial you know, pentacles are all about like the money. So you know, and this could be like you need to work with someone in order to get that bonus as well, like, you know, like stay in like some kind of like work related partnership, or like like if you're perhaps trying to start a family business or anything like that, or if you're thinking of like starting something, you know, like you need to have like some kind of like partner to guide you, and that's gonna make you more successful. Okay, so like don't turn away from like the people who are trying to help you. I feel that in the month of April, you're gonna be challenged to actually see who's bad for you and who's actually good for you, because right now you might like, it might be a bit of a blur that might like mix together. So try and separate like the people who actually you need to like cut ties with and the people you should keep. Okay, so that's just something that I'm getting. And then we've got the Tower card in reversed. Okay, so you guys are gonna be stubborn, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, you're resisting change. The Tower card is all about like, you know, basically like running away, like fleeing from a situation, like going away from a certain situation because it's gonna collapse anytime soon. So kind of like run away before it collapses and explodes. But the Tower card came in reverse for you guys for group number 3. So this is saying that you're resisting change. You know, the signs are there, but you're not actually like, you know, following it. Like you're just kind of like staying where you are because it's like comfortable, like you don't want change to happen. But the Tower card is definitely suggesting that, you know, and with the Death card as well, that there is some ending that needs to happen. So if you've been like ignoring the like red flags in some situation and you're just like trying to like wait it out, this is telling you like don't be so stubborn. Like in the month of April, you're gonna have to like, you know, go with the change and actually like flee some kind of situation, or like say no to someone, or like, you know what I mean. That's like what the Tower card represents. The next card we have, okay, we've got the Meditation card, group number 3. So, you know, if you're stressed out or if you're like confused what you need to do, and perhaps you might not even be aware like what this situation is, but you know, in the month of April, I'm seeing this pretty clearly. There'll be something that you're gonna have to like allow to end. And like if you're confused like about a certain situation, if that's the one I'm talking about, like meditate on it. You know, this is reminding you to like, you know, clear your head, just put everything else aside, make sure like your thinking is clear, and just, you know, ask the universe, ask the spirits, ask someone higher up to actually, you know, give you the answers. And you're gonna like, you need to listen to your intuition, and it's going to tell you like what you need to do. You just need to like, you know, think about it and make sure that like you don't act out like when you're emotional. You need to be really clear-minded, and like, you know, your mind has to be clear, and yeah, you just basically need to make sure that you're thinking straight when you do anything. And then we've got the Release card. Okay, this is a theme that's just coming through. Okay, release. So, you know, release something, allow things to end. This is like, you know, you can flee yourself from the situation. You're not trapped. You know, release. You need to release something or someone or a situation. So in the month of April, expect something that you're going to be releasing. Okay, this could even be like a a past memory that's been haunting you, okay? Like, you know, releasing old traumas, releasing like negativity, like just releasing something and like actually like, you know, feeling new again. Okay, so allowing the, you know, the old stuff to kind of just wash away and like releasing it, not trying to hold on to it. You know, there's this beautiful quote that, you know, that I found the other day on the internet. It's like basically someone's like holding onto a rope and like the hands are all like bleeding and everything, but this person is holding on so strong to the rope. And the caption was like, you know, sometimes holding on does more damage than letting go. You know, so if you're holding on to something so strongly that like your hands are basically bleeding, you know, that's just saying that that's not meant for you and you shouldn't have to like hold on to something so hard. Like, you know, it's time to like let go and time to like, you know, allow your hands to heal from holding onto the rope so much. So there's definitely a release coming for you guys. Group number 3. And then we've got the respect card. Okay, so perhaps why you're so hesitant to allow this change to happen is because you don't have as much self-respect as you should have. You know, sometimes, you know, we are kind to other people, but we forget to be kind to ourselves. So the respect card, you know, I definitely feel from this is like about ourselves. So have self-respect for yourself, and just be gentle with yourself. And you know, and it's especially if you've been like holding on to something so hard, you know, and this ending is just going to be very emotional. Okay, it's gonna be, you know, any change is difficult, even if it's like the good change, you know, it's still going to scare you. So be kind to yourself and be gentle to yourself. Let's have a look at what other cards we've got. So these are the Moonology cards. Okay, new moon eclipse. Expect a powerful change. Okay, you guys, group number 3, a big change is happening in the month of April for you guys. And this is definitely going to be after you release something, after you let something end, after you like stop ignoring the signs and you actually like, you know, take control of the situation and you stop being so stubborn, basically. So, you know, things are going to change and I feel like it's going to be for the better. Like at that time, it might feel like it's, you know, like a lot more difficult, like life just gets hard. But I feel like overall, when you look at the whole picture, like you're gonna see that it's actually, the change was for your good in the long run. So short term, it might not be very comfortable, but you know, if you look at like overall, it's going to be much better. The next card we have is look at the bigger picture. I was just talking about it, like looking at the bigger picture, and I haven't even like read this card. So this is full moon in Sagittarius. Okay, look at the bigger picture. I've literally just said this. So there you go. Look at the bigger picture. And then we've got believe in the impossible, blue moon. Okay, so as I said, even if things don't seem like they are going to work out in the end, like just believe that they're gonna work out. You know, sometimes you may not see the pathway, but if it's meant to be, it's just going to fall into place. Okay, so you know, that's the thing. If like, you know, in life, if anything just brings you, you know, discomfort and it's just, you have to try so hard to keep it, like that's just the universe saying this is not meant for you. You just like going away from what's meant for you and like you're trying to do it yourself. But if like you're presented with something that's meant for you, it's just gonna click and it's gonna work out. So believe in the impossible. Okay, what's meant to be will be. Then we've got some animal cards. So the first card is the 8 of Summer, a kangaroo. And I'll read what that is about. So this is saying, you feel that there's more to life than what you're living. So it's time to move on. There we go. It's time to move on. It's time to allow that to end. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you're in control. So remember, you're in control. You know, as they said, you know, either going away from a situation or going towards a new situation, like, you know, you're in control, and, you know, you can make those changes. You can just, you know, do what you want to do. And then the next card we have is the 8 of Spring. The animal is bee. So let's have a look what this says. You've been presented with so many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. Okay, so, you know, it might be chaotic time, but as I said, if it's meant to be, it will be. So these opportunities that's coming your way, You know, it's being sent from like heaven, it's being sent from like the universe, from like higher up, whatever you believe in. I kind of believe in everything up there, but people have different beliefs. So, you know, it's just, you know, everything's just gonna work out for you guys in the month of April, but you have to remember to just kind of like listen to what your body's telling you and like what you deep down know you have to do, even though it may be the more uncomfortable thing that you have to do. Okay, and these next cards are basically, they come with these extra cards that say I am, and then you pull the cards to say like what you are. So this is saying you are intuitive. Okay, I am intuitive. So this is basically saying that, you know, you have the answers in you. And we've had some kind of like, we've had the meditation card before. So you definitely, you know, work well, and you're like, your mind is working clearly when like you're in a meditated state and like you're listening to, you know, someone higher up, or like asking for guidance from angels, from spirits, from the universe, you know, and you definitely are an intuitive person. Like, you know what you have to do, but perhaps you like get your stubbornness or like your ego in the way, and you're like, no, this is what I should be doing rather than this is what I want to be doing. Okay, so don't let anyone tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Like, do what you want to do. And then the next one we have masculine. Okay, so I am masculine. So what I get from this card is that like you're strong, you're powerful, you're in control, you know, structure, stability, just being like really resilient and have determination. Like that's kind of what I get from this masculine card. Like, you know, you don't need to, you know, have a boss over you telling you what you need to do with your life, because you are your own boss and you know what's best for you. Okay, so just basically like listen to yourself. And you are definitely a lot stronger than you probably realize. So just try and remember that. And then the last two cards we have. Okay, so with this card, you know, straight away, it looks like the Day of the Dead. Okay, this beautiful mermaid is like kind of like dressed up in like the colors, and like you see some little skeletons in her hair. So, you know, I feel that like your past has a lot to do, or like is going to have a lot to do with the month of April and this big decision that you're going to have to make. Okay, but you know, I feel that, you know, we need to acknowledge the past, and the past is always going to be more powerful and it's going to have more control over our thinking than like the present, well, like the present or like the future. Because when we are in the present, we're just kind of like there, you know, we need to be focused, and we need to be in the present moment, which can be sometimes difficult. Like in the future, you have no idea what the future holds. Like you have an idea, it might go this way or that way, but until we actually get to the future, we don't know. But with the past, we definitely know what has happened. We know the facts, you know, we just know exactly everything about the past. So, you know, it's like much stronger than the present and the future. So I feel with this card, it's reminding you that yes, we need to acknowledge the past. We need to, you know, perhaps even like acknowledge if you like lost someone, like, you know, connect to your loved ones. Like if you lost a parent, for example. I feel someone who chose group number 3 has lost a mother. So basically, you know, just, you know, acknowledge that, you know, your loved ones are always with you, but you can't just always go back to the past and like think about what was. You need to like also be able to look, you know, into the future and try and like create a future for yourself. You know what I mean? Like just kind of don't dwell on the past way too much. Like find a healthy balance and like make sure that you're still making goals for the future. And then the last card we have is another mermaid card. So mermaid with a black sea serpent. Okay, so when I look at this picture, I immediately feel a really heavy heart, you know, difficult life. So this is like someone with a very difficult life, and this is perhaps someone that's, you know, once again holding on to something toxic. Okay, this mermaid is holding a black sea serpent. Okay, that sea serpent, you know, it looks really dangerous, it looks dark, it looks toxic, it looks like it's dragging her down, it's like draining her energy, it's making her upset. So you need to stop holding on to something toxic. Okay, it could even be like an addiction, you know, could be alcohol, could be just like bad habits, could be like, you know, I don't know, anger issues. It could be like lack of self-confidence, like constantly putting yourself down. That's like all toxic addictions, because you've been doing it for so long. It's kind of like a bad habit. And so this is basically reminding you in the month of April to like let all that go, like stop holding on to something that's toxic, you know, let that go. You know, you've got the Tower card, you're refusing to like let go because this is like your comfort, even though it's bad for you, it's like comforting you. But like, you know, the Death card came as the first card, you know, you gotta let it die and you just gotta let go of it. So group number 3, this was your reading, and I hope that it resonated. I would love to hear your comments down below, like you know, if you know what this is about, if you're excited, if you're worried, I want to hear it all. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.